欢迎大家今天在那个周六的时间，大家都 make time for 这个职场的讲座。等一下开始的话，我们会用英文。现在我先用中文讲一下这个 purpose 哈。我们请的有4个专家，等一下我会挨个介绍。4个专家都是 cover 不同的方面，大家都是在职场做过 executive， 然后现在都是做 executive coach， 也辅导过很多人从初级到中级到高级的事业的成功。时间比较短，模式呢是由每一个 instructor 花个5到10分钟的时间，从这个 instructor 的 perspective 讲他怎么样能够给你们一些职场上的辅导，然后到最后呢有这个20分钟的时间给大家提问题。最后的话就是大家非常清楚，下个周2开始呢有一个职场的具体的培训项目，所以今天这些 instructor 也会给大家讲到，在这个培训项目中，大家能够具体的学到一些什么东西，好吧？欢迎大家 ，Welcome. So Gary, we will have you go first. So everybody have seen Gary's bio. He is a very famous instructor and keynote speaker. He has been coaching a lot of professionals, especially in Bay Area.
So my premise is that in order to do well in advancing your career in this current situation, a number of things have to come together. You have to be very entrepreneurial and proactive. You need a proactive, creative mindset as well as daily mind-body practices to be in a place of generosity, positivity, not in a place of survival or fear. We all know it's much more difficult to generate something new from that place. So these are really an important thing that we all need. Emotional and social intelligence to engage with others in your organizations and reach out and deepen your connection. Leadership presence. So oftentimes, as you know, a lot of what we communicate is our chi, our body language, where we're coming from, the context that we set, and not just our qualifications and skills. So super important.
So I actually hold a doctorate degree in clinical psychology. I practiced working in the field for several years, and then moved into academia. And it's really there where I started to do deeper, extensive research in looking at particularly South Asian women and our role within power and our role within leadership. I moved out to the Bay Area about 10 years ago and started consulting in several companies in the Bay and started to recognize a pattern. I've worked with TIE, the Indus Entrepreneur Organization, a large group of our South Asian professionals. And then as I started to work in corporate environment, really looking at, our talent processes, our mentoring, our coaching, and how that all plays a role in the importance of that in advancing our careers as people of color. So currently I oversee our global coaching and mentoring program, and I'm beyond excited to be able to work in a role that I'm truly passionate about and believe in. I think that mentoring and coaching is one of the most foundational, important aspects of how people advance in their careers. Whether you're in that frozen middle or you're in senior roles, having a sponsor, a coach, and a mentor, and I'll talk a little bit about the difference in those, is incredibly important. As you can imagine, we don't get to our positions within corporate America without the support of others. And particularly having an executive sponsor is really important. Having a mentor within your community, within your professional work environment is also just as important. And a coach. And a coach is really one, as Gary has expressed, working very independently and closely with the individual to look at where are those opportunities to grow? Where do you dig deeper in terms of your own emotional intelligence and your self-awareness, which is one of the key components in really looking at how you can identify your blind spots, what are your strengths, and what are your areas to grow. So the presentation, the topic that I'll be talking about next week is really looking at power and how does power contribute to your professional success. Even when I say that word power, what does that mean to you? Do you welcome it? Do you embrace it? Do you shy away from it? And based on your reaction, all of that can really impact the way that you show up as a leader, the way you interact with others, and the way others perceive you. So we'll really get into a deeper understanding of what that means for you personally, and how do you leverage that? How do you own that power? And I don't mean power as in power over individuals. I really mean power in terms of what that looks like internally for you.
What I want to do is kind of share with you some of the thought I have on career management. Interesting enough, in the corporation, I've spent 20 years at AT&T and Lucent Technology. I got to the point, I think I hit the ultimate glass ceiling, bamboo ceiling, concrete ceiling as the senior director, waiting to get into the vice president role, even though I had a $400 million business and I took it from 100 to 400. Never cracked the ceiling, and I later on found out why, because I wasn't part of the global boy network.